Welcome home. We are WNST, AM 1570, Taos of Baltimore. We are Baltimore positive, and it is opening day week. Luke and I will be north of the border in Toronto, Canada all weekend long. If you see us out on social media, that would be me up there at Skydome trying to have a little bit of fun. We'll also be in and around the ballpark on Monday. I'll be down at Fadley's prior to the game. In lieu of the show, we're just going to have crab cakes and kind of hang out. We will be there on Wednesday doing the real thing. It is a Maryland Crab Cake Tour presented by the Maryland Lottery. I will have the Magic 8-ball scratchers, my last batch. And we're about to home run riches our way into baseball season. We've got new Mega Millions, lots of things happening. But before we get into this segment, this weekly segment we have with John Martin, Executive Director of all things Maryland Lottery and Gaming, I am wearing my Costas shirt today. This is my first approach after spending a day and a half down, and we're doing a lot of baseball this week from Pizza John's last week and all that we did there. But we lost the legend, not just in Dundalk, in crabs, crab cakes, cuisine, Dundalk, my homeland, all of that. But when I had John Martin on during the big 50th anniversary, we kicked it off in front of the Costas Inn sign, literally that summer. And Mr. Costas was there. He always declined to come on. I'm going to write about him in a column this over the weekend when I'm in Toronto and I can stop the tears and gather my thoughts a little bit. John, welcome in. You talk about partners, vendors, locations, places, the early terminals, digitizing everything. I really remember you saying to me that East Baltimore, when numbers became they called them the numbers game back in the 70s and the lottery happened, that Mr. Costas was one of the first places, 1971. So you don't have to look up when it is, 1971. That really was a lottery place, right?
It is a sad day for the lottery family on a number of fronts. Yes, when we began the lottery in 1973, the Costas Inn was one of the very first people lining up to participate in that, and they have been woven into the lottery fabric for 50 plus years. And we are offering our condolences to the entire family. And you mentioned about their reach. I don't think it's hyperbole to say that they have a national reputation in dining circles. So people know of the Costas Inn. And again, our condolences to the family, and wish that they can find some peace through all of this.
Well, I tell you what, we were in with him last week. So, and every time I'm in there, I see folks playing racetracks, like the machines and the little cage in the corner that's been there that my dad stood in front of when he left the point and bought shrimp and brought them home to me on Friday afternoons with Mr. Thomas. So, John Martin is here. The lottery in this week, there's so many lottery things to talk about. Let's start with Mega Millions because the game's changing. We'll get to home run riches, and it's baseball season, John. I'm going to be in Toronto. We're going to do a lot of baseball in this thing. But I do want to give you a little oxygen on this because things are changing. The jackpot was hit. It's been, a tumultuous little opening day week here, and the Guardians hadn't even started playing.
We got plenty to get to, Nestor. You are correct, sir. So first and foremost, yes, some lucky winner. I believe the state of Illinois claimed the Mega Millions jackpot of well over $300 million this week, which means set the counter back to $20 million. But that will be very short-lived because the new and improved Mega Millions game goes on sale on after next Friday's draw, after the April 4th draw. So starting April 5th, you can buy tickets for the new and improved Mega Millions. Lots of things coming your way if you're a Mega Millions fan. You can count on larger starting jackpots. They will get reset after that date to $50 million and start. Faster growing jackpots, bigger average jackpots, better overall odds to win prizes, improved odds to win the jackpot, and no break-even prizes with an embedded multiplier. I'll explain that in a minute. But you are guaranteed to win more than the price of the ticket. So lots of fun, lots of excitement coming the way for a variety of Mega Millions fans.
Just for my wife's sake, let me interject this. Illinois, huh? Illinois got the big
Yeah,
one, right?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what my mom would say, or Miss Edie, because we were team players in Dundalk. We looked out for each other in Dundalk. I mean, that's part of the Costas tradition. My mom would say, "Well, I hope they needed the money." You know what I mean? So if they're going to hit the
Nice,
jackpot like that, so I hope
nice.
they
Putting that
needed the
out there.
money. Yeah, there you go.
Very
John
nice.
Martin is here. He's executive director of all things Maryland Lottery and Gaming. All right, let's get the home run riches and give some oxygen to baseball season here. Lots of things going on. Ballpark opening day next Wednesday. We're going to be doing our thing at Fadley's. The Red Sox are in town. I hope you're not wearing red for that. You look a little Ohio State for me today, and I'm okay with that. Maybe it's Maryland red as well. For I'm from Baltimore. That's why. So, but God, I just missed basketball and baseball. But it's baseball season, and like we've got the first batch of names of who Ryan Mountcastle's going to make you pay soon,
We
especially
have
if they
we have
move
the
the ball
lineup
in.
set. We have the lineup set. Opening day, everyone wants to build their lineup on the best possible foot going forward. We've got our lineup set of home run riches, contestants of the game. Leading off, Tiffany Jester from Cambridge, Maryland. Tiffany will be the contestant of the game for opening day in Toronto. She's already won $500, and for every O's home run hit, she'll win an additional $500. And should one of those home runs come with the bags loaded, a grand salami. Do they say that still? Grand salami?
Sure, they
I don't
say
know.
that like a
Okay.
can of corn. Come on,
Okay. Then she will
dude,
win
I'd go
five,
all night. Don't start me up. I'm Mick Jagger. I tell
five
you.
uh $5,000 for the grand salami. So that's a lot of fun. And batting second the next night in or I don't know if it's night or day. Oh, it's an evening game in Toronto. Kelly Beauchamp from Abington, Maryland. The next Toronto game, Rudy Augustin from Parkville, Maryland, or Augustine. I don't know how Rudy pronounces it. And to close out the Toronto series, John Townsend the third. Very, very interesting. Of Essex. No
Oh,
doubt.
see, this is where I'm going to love this every week. We're going to make this shtick when Seth comes on. We're going to read every name on this show. We're going to read
Oh,
it every week because we're going to go to places like Cambridge, and it's going to give me a chance to talk about how much I like Cambridge. And I only thought of Cambridge as the place to stop and go to the bathroom 150 on the way to Ocean City. But I have hung out in Cambridge now. I've eaten great meals in Cambridge. I have watched them pull the crabs out of the chop tank in Cambridge. So
we'll tell you
Cambridge,
what.
I'm pulling for you, Cambridge. Let's
Then
go. Not that I'm not pulling for Essex and Parkville and and Abingdon. I love all of you equally, but Cambridge. Let's go, Cambridge.
well let's complete the sweep here for the month of March. Opening day, the home opener on the 31st. Also staying in the Eastern Shore from Chestertown, Lisa Bozarth is our contestant of the game. So there you have it through the month of March.
I did the show on the pier at Chester. I love Chestertown. It's beautiful down there. John
Yeah.
Martin is here. It is he is the executive director of all things Maryland, this beautiful, beautiful state that we have here, from sea to shining mountain. And the weather's getting better. We got baseball going on. We got home run riches. And we're doing events. We're getting stuff out. What am I leaving out here? I bet have we had some big
Oh,
winners here, John?
we've got lots of stuff to talk about before you get. Do you have a favorite movie, Nestor? I know you do. Don't disclose it yet, but hopefully in your top 10 of favorite movies, it is the 40th anniversary in 2025 of the Back to the Future franchise. Yes, it was 1985 when we first met Marty McFly. And to commemorate that, Maryland Lottery will be having just announced and launched this week a $2 Back to the Future scratch off. And of course, it
God, I
has its
hear the
second
Huey
chance.
Lewis song in my head when I'm
Oh,
thinking. Go ahead,
man.
go ahead, keep going. I'm hearing, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling Michael J. Fox right now, the
So
whole thing.
you can go to mdlottery.com for all the details. But it is a second chance contest. You enter your non-winning scratch-offs into your My Lottery Rewards account, and we'll have 5 drawings throughout the next several weeks, all with various and unique prizes offering. There will be drawings that range from a 1955, that's 1955. That's the year to which Marty McFly travels back in time, if you remember, in the DeLorean.
Do they win a DeLorean? Are you
No,
giving
they
away a
did. No,
DeLorean?
no, no. Get your own contest. I
It's just
appreciate it.
like
This is,
Bob Barker. I wanted to say a new car, but like
yep,
no,
yep,
no.
yep, yep,
I
yep.
love when this show's like Oprah and you get one and you get one. I mean, when I
Well, you
when I
can
do the
win.
Maryland Crab Cake tour, I get that feeling of you get one, but you're not giving away a DeLorean. Okay, I'm
These are
sorry.
cash prizes. You can maybe put them towards a DeLorean. I don't know how that will
Is
work
that a
for you,
real
but the
car?
cash prize.
I'm asking. I don't know.
What's that?
Can you really get a DeLorean like that? Can you
I
buy them?
suppose somebody on eBay. You can get anything on eBay.
All right, that's
I
true.
not guaranteed to work necessarily, but someone's probably got one some sitting somewhere. But for 1955, $1,955, you can also win 2015. That's 2015. That's the year in which Doc Brown, Marty McFly, and Jennifer Parker arrived to save Martin McFly Jr. from being set up for a crime by Griff Tannen. You can also win $2,025, 2025, which is the year we're in now, commemorating the 40th anniversary, or the
I like
grand
future
prize.
money better, by the way. I like
Well, then you're going
future
to love
money's more
this.
money, right?
8,888, 8888. And that was the travel speed. You may remember you had to get to 88 miles per hour on that DeLorean before it went bazoom
Right.
out into the future. So have some fun with it. Play responsibly. $2 scratch off ticket. Back to the Future in stores now, and watch for the second chance prizes. We'll have the series of those in April, May, June, and July. We'll be awarding cash prizes.
All right, look, I don't want to plug another movie, but you took me in this direction, and this is a pop culture program. I spent the day walking around Epcot, and I got my little mug because my kid got me a mug from there, so I'm having my delicious Rofo coffee even this morning. I saw a kid. This kid was 14 years old, wearing a Pulp Fiction shirt. Like it was like the cover with Mrs. Mia Wallace and Travolta on it. Maybe my favorite movie, that Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I mean, I could go a couple directions with, maybe even The Wizard of Oz or something like that, but not Gone with the Wind. I would say, how would a 14-year-old kid know about movies like this? And I'm thinking like something like Back to the Future that you and I could speak in tongues 40 years later about a movie that was 40 years ago, and it triggers images, pictures, the town square, the lightning, the car. It is amazing, but like movies, they're forever, they're eternal.
They are,
Maybe
they are.
maybe one day that kid will play a thing. Maybe I don't know, but
And it
nonetheless,
also says that we are old.
yeah.
We
And
are
it's
old,
baseball season, and
and it's baseball season.
I got baseball on the brain and I got things on the brain. And I know we're still in March. We're about to go into April. March Madness has been here as well. And I know we've been talking a lot about responsibility. Things are going to pick up where there are baseball games every day, and the Orioles and the Nationals are going to play every day. We'll give you a little oxygen to talk a little bit more about that because I think March Madness, certainly with the Terps involvement, the kiss off the glass, maybe the greatest quote in the history of Baltimore quotes. And I've heard them all, John Martin. I've been doing this a long time. There's some good Baltimore quotes, some fictional Baltimore quotes. There's all sorts of Baltimore quotes. But that kid, I'm for Baltimore. That's why. That's pretty good, right?
That was very good. I'm going to ignore because I don't understand basketball, how it's evolved in 40 years plus on the professional level as well as the collegiate level. That seemed to be a pretty aggressive move from the top of the key to the kiss off the glass.
Kids
I'm
play
not
with
going
a
to
lot of
say
confidence these days, especially the freshmen.
I'm not going to say that there may have been a little step or two along the way. That's not my call, but that was good
Don't
for him.
walk, run.
It it went it went in, and it is a buzzer beater. And having been on the other side of buzzer beaters, right?
Mm.
This was good to be on that side. So we wish them all well as we're speaking. The both the men and the women in the first ever Sweet 16 at the same time. So that's pretty interesting.
I think so. And I think from a level of interest in that standpoint here, I mean, even as we talk about home run riches, people playing the games, it'd be interesting to see how many Oriole fans there are in different places that want to play games. But sports are, just even like I said, I walked around Epcot just seeing how many hats from how many teams and
Oh,
how many
sure.
people. My wife came in the other day wearing a Red Sox hat. I'm like,
Ooh.
what's up with that? And she's like, yeah, I went out shopping. What? Well, it's baseball
Well, I
season.
mean,
And I'm like,
it's
whoa,
part
that's
of her.
opening day. That's getting a little close. She's feeling good about their pitching. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and it's a little DNA, right? I mean, she is a New Englander, Is
Yes.
she not?
Yes, she grew up
So
on all
that's
that.
yeah,
Her
yeah.
thing was the
Well,
Celtics, though. She was a big, in
yeah.
the Larry Bird Chief, and that
Yep.
DJ that she still calls them all by their nickname. She's just big Celtics '80s person. John Martin is here. If you are a big person into sports, this is a time of year where we're asking folks to slow your roll. It's gambling awareness. Ask everybody to know the odds of what you're playing. We've been playing rather clever ads if you're a WNST AM 1570 listener that John had trick questions for me a couple of weeks ago. But just know what you're doing. And baseball's here. And John, I did say this a couple of years ago. I didn't know anyone that gambled on baseball, and I think that's changing in a way that's educational in a lot of ways because I think younger people are thinking about this differently in regard to what they're playing and how they're playing. And I'm going to be at the front end of saying, know when to say when, know your limits before you get into this, and have a little bit of fun with it, maybe on opening day.
Well, you certainly want to have a plan, a budget, stick with it. Don't chase losses. Make it a social environment if you can. There are a number of compelling reasons and guardrails and guideposts out there for people to manage their play responsibly. And we hope people treat it as an entertainment and not as a financial um, risk reward proposition that can get you into trouble. And keep a level head about it. I mean, so much, especially when you're talking about the collegiate athletics. Um, to take it out on players, on coaches, on referees, to really get out of control is not a good look. And that's we hopefully people have resources and the wherewithal to make it fun and have some entertainment value and play responsibly.
If you can always learn more at mdlottery.com. It's on the apps, it's everywhere. Play responsibly. Problem Gambling Awareness Month. The Maryland Lottery is supporting Gambling Awareness Month. With one click, you can get all the information that you need. Maybe it's a lot of times we talk about this. It's to help someone who may be having this problem, who needs some help, and that's a great thing as well to pitch in and say, hey, watching your friends, keep an eye on your friends as well. John, winners. I know we had like a $500,000 Powerball ticket sold recently, right? I
We
mean,
have an all
things going
points
on.
bulletin, an APB, as they say in the police circles here, for a winner who is yet to come forward, a $500,000 Powerball winner. We have an add-on game called Double Play, Nestor. A few states do this. That means that you have your numbers for your Powerball play, but for an additional wager of $1, you can then replay those numbers on a second drawing that follows the main drawing. So each and every night that Powerball is drawn, and there are 3 nights out of the week that it is drawn, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. After the initial drawing for the big jackpot, which now is getting close to $500 million, we have a second drawing. After the dust settles on the first drawing, you hang on to that ticket, you have your numbers, and we'll have another drawing. The top level jackpot there is $10 million. So it doesn't go with the main jackpot. It's a secondary jackpot. It's a double play on those numbers. But the second tier of that is a $500,000 fixed prize. And we have a Maryland winner at Carson's Run Liquors in Aberdeen. And if you happen to have the numbers 2, 54, 59, 65, and 68, and the Powerball was 3, just for clarity, you may be the person who is the lucky recipient of $500,000. You have 182 days from the drawing, which was last week, to claim that ticket. That's a pretty good chunk of change. You may want to get your affairs in order and make sure everything's all set for you to come on down. I'll be happy to shake your hand. We'll take a picture of the big oversized check, and you'll be
And
able
that's
to
not
talk.
uncommon, right? I mean, like
Oh
literally when
no,
something happens,
no, that yeah.
people just don't come in the next day very often, do they?
It's unusual, and if they do, we kind of flinch a little bit, like that they really thought this through, what the impact is, because for a lot of people, $500,000 is going to change their routine. So make sure that you've got all your financial advisors aware of that, your tax advisors, your cousins who you haven't seen in 50 years are going to come out of the woodwork. So make sure that you've got all that, you're prepared for all of that. And then we'll be more than happy to explain to you how that you can collect on your winnings. So hopefully
But
that person will come forward.
quite a feeling when you look down at the numbers and you see it, you don't believe it right away, and then you're like, okay, now what do I have to do? Take a little time, and that's not a bad thing either. John Martin is here, executive director of all things Maryland Lottery and Gaming as well. By the way, we sort of short shrifted the other jackpot at the beginning of this thing because the Powerball's still like a $500 million, right? So Mega
Oh
got
yeah.
hit, but the Powerball's still big. So I think I skipped the lead on that.
Well, if people are chasing jackpots, and a lot of people do, they don't get into the game till it's $500 million. Now's the time to get in. Powerball drawings, again, 3 nights a week, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. So depending on when you're listening to this broadcast, you check your MD Lottery app if you happen to have that on your phone, or stop by any of our 4,300 retailers. Most of them are more than willing to have the jackpot displayed and share with you how much it is. And again, play responsibly, have some fun with it, and it's okay to dream a little bit on what you would do with $500 million.
It's crazy, but this morning when I got shaved up to look real nice for this trip to Toronto, when I pull my passport out and go in and see Getty, I want to get things together. I want to be a billionaire. The Bruno Mars song came on in the playlist a little bit, and I thought about this $484 million and how much time I would need to have to organize myself and all that. How many dreams would be changed from 30 years ago to today? What would you do with all the money today versus a year from now, 5 years from now? But boy, I could dream big, couldn't I? You know what I mean? On
So
opening
you,
day?
when you were doing all of this stuff, were you trying to match your passport photo? Was that the problem? You didn't want to have a photo like this and you looking like something else?
I kind of look the same. I mean,
Okay.
I haven't changed my look in a while, maybe except for the ponytail, but they do look at me a little bit, but no, I think I'm going to be okay this time around. I got Luke with me. You know what I mean?
I don't,
Luke's
well,
got that
sure.
rugged, handsome, he's never been to Canada. So this is going to be something
Oh
for
my
us. We're going to have a really
goodness.
good time here. Yeah. Well, look, it's
Wow.
baseball season. Not to put the odds into this segment, but we did look up how the Orioles are like the sixth choice and 88, 89 and a half. I was kind of shocked that the Guardians are less thought of, and the Red Sox are highly thought of as well. How you feeling about the Guard? I just have to give a
So
little
last,
preseason thing here.
yes, last year, at this time, and I don't recall us talking about them, but we probably did. The Guardians, we were optimistically thinking we would maybe be close to 500. So they had a great start, and it kind of stayed that way, and ended up, you know, playing the Yankees in the finals for
And
the
their ace got hurt, even though you tried to deal him to us first.
right, right, yeah. After the second week of the season, we lost our number one pitcher. So, uh, yeah, I put little stock into experts. I mean, you and I know more about what's going on than half these chuckleheads who put forecasts out there. It doesn't bother me. I'll look at it again in September, and then we'll see, where we are.
Well, it's great to have opening day. It's great to have baseball season. Luke and I are excited about going up to Toronto. I will be excited next week to be at Fadley's having delicious crab cakes for game 2. I mean, everybody goes to opening day. We're going to go Wednesday, and the weather's apparently going to get real nice around here. I will have scratch offs in the Maryland Lottery, the Magic 8 balls. It is the end of this batch. We're into spring. We're into home run riches. Mega Millions is changing. We got things happening out there, as well as a problem gambling awareness month as well. Shout out to our friends at Costas. We began the segment. I'm not doing a lot of radio here, being in and out of the country with Luke, but our thoughts to everybody there and everybody reaching into me. We are back at Costas doing the show in 2 weeks. We're going to hold to that. We're doing the show everywhere in the month of April. We're going to be at Coco's. We're going to be around. We're going to have scratch offs in the Maryland Lottery to give away as we always do. Big appreciation for putting this out on the road on the Maryland Crab Cake Tour. Cheers to another baseball season and opening day. As the great Hall of Famer Ernie Banks said, let's play 2. I am Nestor. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. We never stop talking. Baltimore positive in 2 countries this week. My goodness, it's baseball season.